This afternoon we gather for the purpose of updating you on the position of the Progressive Liberal Party with regard to the government's proposed amendment to the Juries Act. It is necessary for us to do this because it is not easy for the Progressive Liberal Party anymore in this country to get its views fairly heard by the general public. It is important for the public to understand, and it is important for all of our supporters to understand the position of the party on this very important piece of legislation. Before I get to that, though, I want to say one or two things. One is this, that this is now October 28th, I believe, 29th. And the government has been in power since May 2nd. This party that promised such efficient governance has brought to Parliament three pieces of legislation. One, for the Prime Minister to fix his pension. Second, for the Airport Authority to cede to the Airport Authority, a private company, the security for the Lyndon Pindon International Airport. And thirdly, this Juries Amendment Bill. The only other legislation that we've had before us are supplementary appropriations bills, which ought to have been brought when the budget was debated, but now is being brought seeking to convince the public, the Bahamian public, that they have to bring this legislation because the former government overspent during the last year, which is patently false and untrue. But that is what we are coming now to expect from the trust agenda government. I wish to state unequivocally how much we in the PLP decry the conduct of the Prime Minister during his contribution to the debate on the Juries Amendment Bill on Monday past in the House of Assembly. In seeking to deal with the PLP's expressed objections to the way this matter was being handled, that is, the lack of consultation, the fact that the public was generally unaware of the details of the legislation, and to some extent still are, and the potential consequences of its passage, and the spin that has been placed on the matter by the FNM and its partisans, the Prime Minister appeared to go berserk, shouting at the top of his voice and berating the leader of the opposition in a manner that is unbecoming of any Prime Minister. We say that he went too far. We believe and we demand that the Prime Minister owes an apology to the leader of the Progressive Liberal Party. He owes an apology to all of us as PLPs, and more importantly, he owes an apology to the country called the Bahamas. For what we call boorish behavior, put simply, totally unacceptable behavior from someone who is the leader of our country. His words, his tenor, and his manner were unparliamentary. They were abusive. It is not conduct which is appropriate for a Prime Minister. It certainly set a bad example for the entire society, and especially for the children watching the proceedings of the House of Assembly. This conduct was particularly offensive in the face of the number of FNM speakers who, during the course of the debate, had been preaching to us about the need for members of the House of Assembly to set standards of good behavior by the way they conduct themselves during the debate, or during debates generally. Unfortunately, they did not follow their own advice, and their leader was the worst example. So, we call upon him to apologize publicly at the next sitting of Parliament. And it is my view that our leader should demand an apology from him. Ladies and gentlemen, the Juries Amendment Bill appears on the face of it to be a simple bill. But as we sought to unravel its implications, we were very concerned about a number of things. And so, we requested that the bill not proceed to a vote on Monday, October 22nd. We believed that there was not sufficient consultation on the proposed amendments. It was clear that up to the time that the House suspended, neither the Bar Association nor the Bar Council, representing the 900 or so lawyers in the country, had been adequately consulted. Indeed, the Bar President, who had taken the view publicly that he could not support the amendment, was also verbally attacked by the Prime Minister for his expression of disagreement.